The world of boxing is still reeling from the surprising arbitration case in favor of Deontay Wilder. It grants the Bronze Brahma a trilogy against Tyson Fury, directly putting the undisputed bout between Fury and Anthony Joshua scheduled for August very much in jeopardy. Here's a reaction of Matchroom's group chairman, Eddie Hearn, on the blockbuster news.
Everything that we were told from the get-go is this arbitration issue wouldn't be a problem. Obviously it is a problem now, and we have to think on our feet, we have to act accordingly, but we still hope the fight can go ahead, but really that's completely out of our hands. We can't wait around. We have a deal in place with Tyson Fury. We provided an unbelievable opportunity to him. We were told by his team, Bob Arum, that the arbitration wouldn't be an issue. We could move forward with this fight. They were wrong, and that's on them. That's their responsibility. That's now their problem. We hope they can solve that problem. But we have to look after ourselves. We have to look after Anthony Joshua. We have to maintain the position of unified world champion, and those talks will continue. And we want to be in a position by the end of this week to know, are we fighting Tyson Fury or are we moving forward with another option?
Boxing aficionado Michael Benson tweets, Bob Arum has revealed that Top Rank have reserved July 24th at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas for Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3. He said, we're not paying Wilder to step aside. It's better to get rid of him. We can make Fury versus AJ for November or December. In addition to that, Deontay Wilder's main man, Malik Scott, who once was his opponent, is a close friend and now his trainer, it appears to be. He says, nah, Wilder declined and has no interest in step-aside money. You're dealing with a whole different type of mother effer over here. He want the blood, not the step-aside money. Retribution is upon us. So, Barack, a lot to unpack here. Looks like Eddie Hearn is admitting that, hey, this fight actually might not happen. And he's putting all the blame on Top Rank and Bob Arum and those guys, and they have nothing to do with it. Wow.
Absolutely. I mean, what else can he do? He's making it clear that we were told that this wouldn't be a problem. That the most that can happen is that there'll be some damages, some fees. Okay, pay a couple of $1 million or whatever. That's nothing compared to what the fight is worth. And if you're being told that, then it's your job to do the other end. Get the site fee, get the site, get the venue, and make sure your fight is ready. And that's what he did. He's blameless in this situation, but he has to put it in the hands of Bob. And that's the thing. And I've said it, I don't know how many times since this been an issue, whether they were gonna fight or not, Fury and Wilder. Wilder's not taking step-aside money. It's not about the money. It's about getting revenge. If Wilder was to take $25 million, let's say, and step aside and then allow Fury to fight Joshua, and then what if Joshua wins? Hell no. Or even then he'll never be able to fight Fury again, maybe. Or what if Fury wins and then retires? Then it's like, oh my God. I think a true fighter wants his revenge.
No question about that, Barack. I think that most people figured that too much time had passed, and obviously we all knew what Joshua wanted and what Fury wanted. So, I mean, I can't blame everybody and call everybody dumb or stupid for believing that the Fury-Joshua fight was going to happen. That's what it appeared to be. I think that Bob Arum has made it clear that he doesn't look to spend any money on anything on step-aside fees, but Frank Warren, and I know where you're going with this, but I'd like to add that it seems like Frank Warren, from some of the sound bites that I've heard, that he wants this fight to actually happen on August 14th, Joshua Fury, and he's probably willing to contribute to that. Now, let's be honest, Barack.
Yeah.
I mean, if Saudi Arabia comes out and says, we want Fury Joshua to happen, we're willing to spend whatever it takes for it to happen. If they even get involved in, with Al Heyman and Wilder and say, listen, we're willing to give this much money just for you guys to allow this fight to happen. I mean, wouldn't it be good advice from Al Heyman and those guys to let Wilder know this is an opportunity that you can't pass? We understand you want revenge. We know that it's not about money. But this amount of money is unheard of to step aside. You're still getting an opportunity to fight the winner. And you'll just have to take the chance that if Joshua wins, you won't get immediate revenge. But how can you walk away from that? Barack, there's pride and there's glory and legacy, but then there's like, how do you pass this up? I'm just saying if that actually
What the heck is that?
happens.
How do you pass? And then
I just
how do you
created that.
pass this up?
Yeah, that's something new that I just created.
Maybe that's you with your bank account saying negative 43 cents, but not Wilder, who's a millionaire already. And if he go ahead and fight Fury, he's gonna make millions of dollars, maybe 20-something million dollars. So it's not like he needs that step aside money. And a man that stands on principle is a dangerous man, and a man that stands on principle can't be bought.
But here's what Eddie Hearn said about Anthony Joshua moving on if that Fury fight doesn't happen.
He was okay. I mean, I guess he's been up and down during this process like we all have, and the positivity from Team Fury this week and the acceptance by everybody that we have a deal was great for everyone. Everyone had started pretty much full training camp, and he just said to me, listen, just go and do your work. He said, you're the man to take care of it. Over to you. I'll be in the gym. Let me know. The only fight that we had our mind on was Tyson Fury. And we hope that fight can still take place on August 14th. The game changed last night where we have to have a plan B in place and probably a plan C as well. And we have a couple of different options. Of course, the one that springs to mind immediately is the WBO mandatory of Alexander Usyk. They've been quite patient, and I think really we're in a situation now where if Team Fury don't get themselves together, get their act together, by the end of this week, we will have no option but to look for an alternative fight.
Well, listen, that's what a promoter's supposed to do, have plan B, C, and be ready for you, right? Now,
yeah, but when plan A is 155 million, you just go full steam ahead with plan A, and I get that.
Yeah, well, look, Usyk has already been on deck. He's wanted the Joshua fight. He's been mandatory. So, at least there's still a little interest in that fight. We're talking about a guy who was undisputed at cruiserweight. We're talking about a slick southpaw that comes from that Lomachenko camp. This is a tricky and risky fight for Joshua. So, no, it's not Fury Joshua. Of course not. But it's still a fight that it's not a soft touch at all. It's not an easy fight for Joshua. It's actually a big heavyweight showdown. So, you're going from Fury to Usyk, but not too shabby.
Well, one thing I've learned in life is how to move on, especially when I'm not affected directly.
Right.
I want to see any of these guys fight. That's just the point. For me, I want to see I wouldn't mind seeing a trilogy between Deontay Wilder and Fury. Of course, the whole world was waiting for Fury Joshua, but it is what it is. But do I think that Usyk is the next best plan B? I think he's risky, like you said. He's a risky fight because he's so crafty, because he's so fast in there for a heavyweight. But then again, Joshua can lay hands on you and knock you out. So I don't know. I guess it's the next best thing, having somebody who's undefeated fight Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, because if Anthony Joshua went on to maybe create a fight with Luis Ortiz or somebody else, people would complain about that. People would say he's an older guy, even though he's a guy that had success in the ring against Wilder, though he didn't win both fights. He was winning both of them before he was knocked out. So it's a good fight. It's a good measuring stick, but the fight fans will complain if Joshua would have knocked Ortiz out. So I think that's the next best thing. And listen, if Joshua goes on to beat Usyk, and he can sit back and wait for the winner of Wilder and Fury, even though we know the negotiations will be difficult creating a Wilder fight. But still, look, boxing is not over because of this. If Wilder goes on to fight Fury, that's still a huge fight. I'll make sure I'm in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium for that one. It's big. Wilder is looking great on Instagram. We know that's different inside the ring, but he's looking a lot better than he looked in the gym before with Malik Scott. So I'm very interested, even though people are picking Fury in the trilogy. If that fight happens, I'm interested to see how it plays out, Barack.
Absolutely. I think and when I say he, I'm talking about Wilder. I think he's shown us a few things. One thing he's shown us is that you gotta keep fighting even outside of the ring. I think a lot of other boxers might have given up by now. Keep betting on yourself and keep fighting, because you see he won against a fight that was, you know, bigger than anything, bigger than life, but it wasn't bigger than what was in the contract. Another thing I think he's showing us is that foundation is key, and that's what he's going back to with Malik Scott, working on that foundation. I think he kind of got away from it a little bit because he has so much power. But if we revert back to 2015 when he fought Stavern did not get knocked out that fight. He was the first guy to go 12 rounds with Wilder, and Wilder was pretty in there. He boxed, he counterpunched, he had a check left hook, he had lateral movement side to side, he boxed. He went away from that, and it seems like now he's going back to that. And another thing, and the last thing he showed us, was that you can stand on principle and not be bought.